Hey, hey! Welcome to Candidly Speaking with Chelle Kelle. I'm Kel.
And I'm Chelle. We are glad that you're with us tonight. Is everybody okay? Is somebody?
We're static.
That's okay.
I heard coughing, though. Did you hear coughing?
I heard coughing. Yeah. Must
So
be
who's
somebody
coughing?
in the green room, I guess. Well, so everybody, we're so glad that you're here, and I hope you're having a good week. I'm having a fantastic week. How about you, Kellen?
It's been crazy good. Crazy good. I'm
Crazy
very
good. Good.
crazy good. Yeah. I've been busy. Actually, I thought yesterday was Thursday.
Some weeks are like that.
When you're so busy that all the days are just melding into.
Yep. You know, like I said, it's just there's no way.
Yeah.
Some days are like that. Well, I'm glad it was crazy good and not just crazy. So.
How about you? Your hair I love your hair straight. I know you like
it big.
I
was just telling Brian. I said, Brian, I really meant to do my hair for you, but you know what? That just did not happen. So you've just got regular old everyday go to work Michelle here. So, and apparently I've got sunglasses on my head. So sorry about that.
Well, I wasn't sure if you were going for a look there or
no look, just keeping my hair out of my eyes.
I don't know about you, but it has been so hot. It's been so hot to do anything.
Yeah, it's too hot to be outside unless you're like swimming, unless you're getting wet. It's like 94 degrees here. It's crazy.
You know, even yesterday, it was so hot during the day. I waited till 8 o'clock last night to go swimming and do my laps because it was just too hot.
It's crazy. And I don't know about you, but my air conditioner can't quite keep up, because it's too hot. It's just too hot outside. It's crazy. But anyway,
we have a cool guest. We have a cool guest. But I will talk about our sponsors, of course. We have Blue Sky Video Productions, who is working remotely today. He's somewhere in a car, but he is managing to make all this happen, and we're so grateful for him for that. Oh, there we go. Blue Sky Video Productions. Call him. He's a YouTube strategist, and he is your man if you want to do a show just like us and look just professional, just like us.
Just like us.
And then we have Goodwin Graphics, cottonfeelsgood.com. He is our sponsor for our t-shirts. Our guests that are on our show, they get a t-shirt. And you don't have your mug handy, do you?
You know what? It's on my desk in my office at work.
I know, and mine's like I can't reach it. He makes these great mugs too, so we'll make sure to bring those out for our next guest. And then Kellen at cardsthatwow.com. That's me. Cards That Wow. I create wow moments for people and brands with handmade note cards and a new gifting service that has taken off and gone crazy. So you can find me at cardsthatwow.com.
Yay. Okay. Well, if you are watching us tonight live, we are so glad that you're here. And if you're watching on a replay, we are also glad that you're here. If you could just let us know maybe where you're watching from, put those in the comments. And if you wouldn't mind putting #replay if you are catching us later. And please share the show out. We've got a great guest tonight. So are we ready to start talking about Brian?
We should talk about Brian because
we should talk about Brian.
I love Brian.
I love Brian too. Brian is.
I want to be here. I want to be here while you talk about me. Okay.
I was going to give you this amazing intro.
No, you have to go. You have to go.
Okay. Right, Brian Monahan is. Oh, did you kick him out or did he kick himself out?
I sure did.
Bruce gave me control. I'm back. Bye.
Okay. I will. No, I can do this with Brian here. That's fine. Brian Monahan is one of my favorite people on earth. And I recently told him that, and he was not aware of that. So please tell people when you just adore them, because I just adore Brian. Brian is a speaker. He is an author. He is just a motivator. He is a special events professional. There's his book, which is also in my office. I read a little bit of that book probably 5 times a week.
Every day.
Absolutely.
Every day.
Just amazing customer service things, customer service tips, but things that you can use in all aspects of your life. Absolutely. Brian is a really cool guy, got lots of newsletters. We'll probably talk about that just a little bit. So help us welcome from Cincinnati, Ohio, Brian Monahan. Here he is. Vegas music.
I didn't do my hair either, but I did find
But
some
you do have the
glasses.
sunglasses, yeah. We're rocking a look.
Looks like
Brian and I.
Elvis. I need some sunglasses.
Yeah, you do.
I can't do
you do.
impersonations. That's as best as I'm going to get. So
You know what? That's okay. I would have mistaken you for, me any day. So
You guys are all
what's up,
twins.
Brian Monahan? Yeah. People, make that mistake so frequently. So Brian and Kellen and I met, knocking on 2 years?
2
now?
years.
I think we're getting there. Was it around June?
Yeah.
It's been,
Cannot believe it. 2 years ago, when the pandemic just really first started rocking and rolling, and we were all working from home. And we are in a mastermind group together called Megamind, and Brian inspires me every day. So, as I'm sure he does you, Kellen. And Brian,
Every day.
you are kicking butt on LinkedIn. Every
Mhm.
time I look on LinkedIn, there's you.
Absolutely. Having a blast. I took a course back in January called Brand 30, and it was a 30-day challenge on how to write on LinkedIn. And Andrew Mewborn, by the way, he's the founder of the course. He says, if you write on LinkedIn for 2 years, you'll build a personal brand that will take care of itself. And just basically, and so I told him in the class, I go, well, I'm going to cash that check in 2 years. And so I just jumped in and started posting daily, and it's been a blast.
I think you're going to be able to cash it more quickly than 2 years, sooner than that.
Oh yeah.
Because seriously, everywhere I look, I see Brian, and it's good. It's good stuff. Maybe somehow we can get information about that course in the comments. I don't know how to do it, but
I am an affiliate, so let me go ahead and pop that link in there so I can make some money at it.
Nice. By all means.
Okay,
Hi,
so
Randy.
Randy, RC.
Randy, he's another member in our mastermind group. And
He
Christy's
is.
back. Hey, Christy.
Yeah, hey, Christy. Hey, Christy.
Hi, Christy.
And not only are you just flashing stuff up there, though, you are turning out some very impressive, very useful content.
Mm-hmm.
So
Absolutely.
Useful is the key word. I mean, I read through every word, and normally I'll just skim through things, but I'm like, ooh, you make me want to read the whole thing.
Yeah.
Well,
and your engagement is good.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, actually, I do track my data, and my engagement has been really good. It's part of the process, and it's been great to learn. I used to think, honestly, before the training that, hey, you just put something nice up and people engage with you. And I didn't, out of authenticity, when you post, you're like, oh, I'll just do it this way. But they really teach you that you have to use forms and formats, frameworks, they call them, to get people to engage with you. And so it definitely makes it more fun when people respond. And so I've had to test out some different techniques like headlines and hooks. And it felt inauthentic at first, like, hey, I don't want to market to people. But over this period of time, I've learned, well, that's what it takes to get people to actually read your content. And so,
it doesn't come across that way to me. It doesn't come across as inauthentic at all. It's like having a conversation with you.
And it's tidbits of information that you're like, oh, I was thinking about that. And, now I know what to do.
Yeah.
Well, I think one of the key things I've also learned from a lot of the various content creators I've been following is that, you don't save your best stuff for later. That's, you put your best thoughts forward. People don't hire you because you have hidden information. They hire you because you share something valuable with them. And so, and even if they read it, they may not be able to implement it. It is a way to provide credibility for your expertise. And that way people can say, hey, if I need help, I can hire that person.
Right.
As an event professional, I do Bourbon B Money. I see that. We haven't popped that comment up there, but I see that out there in Facebook land.
Our buddy Eric, he's a charmer.
That's either Eric or Randy.
It's Eric.
B Money.
B Money.
That's my nickname.
Sometimes call Brian B Money. Yeah.
No, I mean, I think, we all started out during the pandemic, trying to do things differently. We were stuck at home. We're all sales professionals who are used to being out, engaging people. We had a certain skill set. We knew how to work the room. We knew how to do the in-person networking. And then they took it away from us. And
sure they.
We all met through essentially our common ground is Jeffrey Gitomer, as you remember. We all were in the what was that? The New Normal course.
Yeah.
And it's 959 live, and we all did carry a very similar values, and we jumped into video. We were like, how do we become better at this? But with video and content, there is text versions of that too. So it's like, it's an evolution of what we were working on 2 years ago, and just honing it for written word as well. So there's still value in the written word, by the way, even though we all are big video fans and we're here.
Especially Michelle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Y'all, they're making fun of me just a little bit, just so you know. Just so you know. Yes, my first live experience was, thankfully, it was just in front of Megamind.
It was classic.
And it was, I didn't know how to turn it off. I ended up just kind of throwing the phone down on my front porch and walking away. But anyway, so who would have known that then really what, just like 4 months later, 5 months later, we started the show.
Yes.
You told me, I'm going to have a weekly, live stream, you were nuts. But
this is that we're winding down our second season. So it's
but part of that really, I think, speaks back to my involvement with the two of you and then everyone else. So Brian, can you talk a little bit about, just really the importance of surrounding yourself with people who
lift
are
you
going
up,
to build you up?
pump you up.
No, I mean, I really believe that the Megamind, and I would say most of our group, and for those out there, Megamind's the name we came up for our mastermind group. But the Megamind, as we say it affectionately, the Megamind, not just Megamind, mastermind, the Megamind. We became a club, and it was tough for all of us. We had a lot of major business setbacks. I'm in the live event industry. And essentially, our business became illegal. We weren't allowed to meet. And yes, there were options for pivoting to virtual and things like that. But it took a good 60, 90 days for everybody to pivot, move their events and say, this is a viable option. And so we survived, but it was a tough run. I mean, I work for a company, Prestige AV and Creative Services. And, I'm not ashamed to say we lost 90% of our business in about 7 days. And, and we were on target to have, this will be our 35th anniversary this year. We were on target, like many in 2019, 2020, to have your best years and go from best year to just zero income. I think we actually had zero income for 60 days as a company that had 100 employees at the time. And so it was devastating. And, the group, the Megamind, was a place that we could get together. And it was a nice balance. What I loved about it is we came up with a good system. We met on Mondays at lunchtime to talk about our goals. Mm-hmm. And, kind of like a mullet. It was business on the front, and then we had a happy hour on Fridays at 4:00, and party in the back. So,
and crush and brag. Don't forget crush and brag.
But I love, though, we had the Eric Bams out here, and we'll give him credit. Back in the day, he's like, all right, here's the deal. You're not allowed to post anything in the group unless it's video.
Right.
So it all started off where we were just, and better yet, go live. And so for like about 6 weeks, every 15 seconds, one of us was going live.
It was true. You couldn't possibly.
But some of us thought we were live, but we forgot to turn it on.
And then sometimes you would go live in a parking lot and show up in somebody's office. and
surprise them.
Okay, so I'm sitting in my desk in my office, minding my own business, right? And I'm watching Brian Monahan live, and I'm seeing his feet. I'm seeing where he's walking. I guess maybe were we having a phone conversation, Brian? Was that it? Because I know we were speaking. Yeah. And then I look, and he's going through a door, and I thought, that's the front door on my building. He's coming in, and I look up, and there he is. So, and I'm in Louisville, Kentucky, which, is hour and a half from Cincinnati. So, but
yeah, so we have one of our largest clients is in Louisville, and so I had always promised I would come and visit, and so I had a meeting, and I'm like, I gotta go to lunch, and then I'm like, oh wait, I actually don't even know that I was coming over for sure. I saw your sign for your business. I'm like, I'm going to pop in here. So,
heck yeah.
It was crazy. Eric popped up. Everybody should sign up for Brian's Saturday email. Ooh,
we do a Friday email too, right? There's a Friday and a Saturday.
Absolutely.
Yes. I'm up to 3, crazy. And I am being smart. I'm picking different days of the week. So I have Monday, which is a LinkedIn newsletter called Rock the Monday.
Yes.
And that's all about RTM, because on LinkedIn, we're not TGIF people,
Right.
we get to work on Monday. And so, and that's something that actually kind of came out of Megamind. We all, one of the things we did was we shared playlists with each other and went for walks, and that was a way of connecting. And so it really, Randy, who's out there, inspired me to start gathering up these lists and sharing them. And so I was like, well, let's formalize it and turn it into a newsletter. And then my other one is on Saturdays, which is
That's my favorite, by the way.
Well, thank you. Yeah, and that one's personal. That I'd gone to a public speaking seminar last May, and when I came back, it just really woke my soul up, and I needed to get a lot of stuff off my chest, and I called it unpacking, and it was just about me sharing what was on my mind, freestyle writing, trying to get down to the core of what was going on with me, trying to recover from that challenging period. And I got in touch with who I was. I got in touch with my voice. It's really propelled me to even be able to do what you mentioned, the writing on LinkedIn. That helped get my voice for that. And and then, as Eric mentions in the comments, I've changed the name of the newsletter 5 times. And that's part of the fun of it, is that, it's not static. It's always moving.
It's evolving.
I see Cindy Cohn out there. Cindy is, I don't know if any of you guys know, I've been wanting to get Chelle and Cindy together. And BPM stands for butt pucker moment, by the way. and she's ready for me to write a book on that. So thanks for reminding me, Cindy. Cindy is a virtual MC, by the way. So, all you Megaminds, if you're looking for somebody to bring it. But Chelle, I've been wanting you to meet Cindy. She has a candle making business, by the way, or does candle making events online, and they send out packages. And I thought, well, the cards at WOW and you guys, there's got to be some synergy there between you.
We will definitely contact each other.
So, but yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to think though, between Chelle, Kelle, and Cindy, I don't know if the web could handle the 3 of you on the call together.
I
think you would break Facebook for sure.
Yeah. Well, good.
But yeah, but then I'm in the event industry. Okay. So I do want to have a newsletter that's focused on event professionals, and, my Saturday newsletter doesn't, it's personal. I often say, don't sign up unless you want to go along for the journey. It's just purely personal for the fun of it. But so Fridays is I guess Fridays is my mullet, work on Fridays, event professionals. Saturday is the party. And then of course we do it on Mondays too. So having fun with that. And I appreciate you guys supporting me big time in that. It's nice, all the comments that you send in, and that definitely goes a long way.
Well, it's our pleasure to read and go along with you on the journey. And, I think I told you when you started the original unpacking newsletter that, I was going to unpack with you. And we've had some conversation about that. So very, very helpful. Again, very, very useful information. So we're all learning from your journey.
Well, I appreciate it. I mean, we've all been in this together. It's been quite a journey. I mean, just look here tonight with Randy and Eric in the comments, and honestly, what have you ever done in your entire career where you met 20 people? Some unofficially, we just kind of assembled unofficially, and 2 years later, we're all very engaged with each other.
It's a family. It's not a group anymore.
Yeah, and we make it work. Kelle's daughter was going to school up in Northern Ohio, driving through Cincinnati from where are you now? Georgia. Yeah, so she'd be coming up 75, and we're meeting at Panera's on the highway.
Yep. I know wherever I'm at, I try to okay, who's close? Who can I meet? Because there's some of us that haven't met each other yet still.
And we don't even necessarily meet in our home cities. It's like, there's, you met with, I can't think of
Bam and Tim and George. Yeah. We met in Kentucky.
Kansas City, right?
That was in Kansas City. Yeah, we all met in Kansas City.
That was the first meeting. That was the first summit.
Yeah.
Well, but you met with
but then Michelle, you met with Wes and
the basketball tournament you went to in Iowa.
Oh,
Kara.
Yeah. And Brian and Wes, Brian and I, Wes,
and
Randy,
Sean.
Yeah. We all met. Where was that? Cincinnati, maybe?
We were in Cincinnati, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was the masks were still going crazy. And but what was amazing is it was, for the most part, the first time we've all met as a group, and we started off like we've known each other for 100 years.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
There was no barrier to entry. We were best friends, and
it's so much fun. It's so much fun.
I mean, the other thing about it is even these podcasts, Chelle's Brian, you're gonna be on the show next Wednesday, right? And I kind of say yes, yeah, that works. And I'm I'm traveling on Wednesday. That's not a good night. And then I see the advertisement. I'm yeah, I'm on the show on Wednesday night. And behind the scenes, we're so good at this. I get the link 3 minutes before we go live.
1 minute before.
It was a minute.
It not even a discussion at 4 minutes before about any kind of link. It's hey, am I going to be on this show tonight?
Yeah, so Brian calls me.
What are we going to talk about?
And I'm sure, let's go for it. And I'm and all three of us just assemble and we have a show. So
you're lucky I wasn't in my curlers.
Oh, wow. Well, let me ask you something, Brian, just for your opinion. We have talked a lot recently in Megamind, but we've talked a lot about, I don't know if blending is the right word. It's the word I'm going to use for lack of a better one. Blending your personal with your business when you are interacting with or reaching out to potential or current clients. Okay. Not making it all just professional. I can't do anything personal. What are your thoughts on that? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think almost everybody in the group that we've been friends with, and my opinion strongly is, the concept of people do business with people they know. Mm-hmm. And, Jeffrey Gitomer, I think, says it, basically somebody, beats out even somebody with a better product. And so, my approach to business is, I'll be honest, and my ownership, if you're on the call, I am slow to try to win business. I have an opinion that I don't want to burn a lead before I build a relationship. And it's a long career. It's a long, if you're doing it right, it's going to be a long career. And so I try to build friendships first. That's my goal, and business second. That's just period. I don't see any reason not to. I want to do business with people I like as well. And that's one of the big, I think even post-pandemic is even more important. I think we all have learned that we don't want to go back to.
Exactly. I'm not going back.
And I think that, that we've learned that, it can't all be business. Other things have to come first. And, I'm going to go on a soapbox, and, in the AV business, we get RFPs all the time for events. And generally speaking, an RFP, and often it touts, we're looking to work with a company who we can build great relationship and have a partnership and this or that. But nothing in the process allows you to actually meet the people in a relationship way. And so I tout, when you're building a RFP, if you need to find services, have a relationship building aspect to it, because at the end of the day, you're trying to work with people who you like, and your RFP doesn't have any process to find out a way to get to know the people. Why don't you date some of your vendors before you hire them? Mm-hmm. Hire them for a small project, or, get introduced so that you know who you're working with, not just them submitting a piece of paper and saying, oh, we can do all this stuff, and here's my marketing fluff. Or, well, who are the people of your company? Who are the organization? And I'll be honest, Prestige, that is one of the reasons why Prestige has been so successful over the years. We do have a very personality-based organization, and people just like working with our team. We are real. We're in the trenches on events with our clients, and oftentimes at the tech table, it's kind of like confessional time. You're with an event planner, and I'll say she, because my wife was looking at my pictures from my trip, and she goes, "There's only women in the picture, Brian." And I'm like, well, it's event planners, most of them are women. I don't know if I got in this industry by accident, but literally tonight I was showing pictures, I just got back from DC, and she's like, "I don't think I see a single guy in the picture, Brian." But no, so what are you doing to build relationships, and how are you building that into your process? But we work with our teams at the table, and we get to know the people we work with, and we find out about what's going on in their home life, and become connected with them. And that so that's a long answer to your question, but I'm absolutely about building friendships first.
I love that, though, when you said you need to date first. That you need to put that in a newsletter, Brian. I don't think I've ever heard anybody say that before, but that's right. I mean, that's brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, that's oftentimes, if we're going after a very large piece of business, because a lot of events have multiple, or a lot of organizations have multiple events. They might have a spring conference, an annual meeting, and I'll often say, hey, is there a smaller conference that we can get an opportunity to work with you on? And I don't expect you to want to hand over the keys to your big event without getting to know us. So why don't we pick something that's a little bit smaller, a little bit less risk for you, a little bit better opportunity for us to get our hands around it. We may find out we don't want to work with you too. I mean, and that is the new dynamic of the world right now too, is I think, it's very appropriate to start for businesses to saying, you're not the right client for me either. Mm-hmm. That's what's, everybody was so miserable. Everybody's going after every piece of business, and, not every client's the right fit. And so how do you say no?
Eric has a good comment here. He says, sales are transactional, relationships are forever. And that's basically what you just said.
BAM is, honestly, sorry, Chelle and Kelle, but I mean, if I were to go out and brag about a guy who is in my friendship group, that is literally just one of the most smart, talented, insightful people ever, Eric Bam. That dude is.
We would have to agree with you on that.
Bam is many things. He absolutely is many things.
I mean, I just, the stuff he does, the things he comes up with. I mean, he brought us together. I mean, we would have found each other, but he brought us together.
Yeah.
And Randy Chafee. Shoo.
Now, Randy says he agrees, Brian, I'm 80-20 about relationships. Always my go-to as well. Love it.
Yeah, you have to be. You have to be. And I didn't used to be that way. I don't think any of us used to be that way. But, talking about things that there's no going back, I mean, I wouldn't even want to. It's proven. We know that's what works. That's what not only, gets you new business, but that's what keeps your business. And that's what, there's no going back on that.
No, never. Oh, and we do have a special guest watching again, Chelle.
Is it Ruby?
Ruby Doo is watching.
Hey, Ruby.
Say hi to Ruby.
Girl.
Hey, Ruby. She gets all excited when she hears her name.
She is our youngest fan, our youngest supporter.
She is our youngest fan.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Now, we'll have to find out what Ruby's moisturizer is someday.
Yeah.
We will.
We should have her on one day.
Probably like Kool-Aid or something. Yeah. Wow.
There's our buddy Eric. So wait, there was a question up way up top here. I didn't want to forget about it. So Christy had a question. She said, another question. People are posting more political and personal posts on LinkedIn. I go to Facebook for that. Don't really want to see it on LinkedIn. Is that a good approach or not? What do you think?
All right. I will say, in terms of being personal, yes, on Facebook or on LinkedIn. In terms of political, I would, make some qualified choices for yourself. I don't think, however, I will say, to each their own. And so for somebody who wants to do political posts on LinkedIn, I say, then go for it, because I don't want anybody judging me. I don't want anybody telling me what to post. So if I don't want to take in somebody's content, I can just either block them or remove them from my feed. And so I think that's the best thing to do. And also possibly, Christy, consider honestly listening to somebody that you don't have an agreement with in politics. And I don't know if you're necessarily saying that, we all get tired of politics too. I think all of us are tired. So yeah, it is. I personally don't see that much politics. And, LinkedIn, I'm just going to toss this out to you, Christy, but LinkedIn gives you what you give LinkedIn. So the people you engage with, the people that the types of content you put up, you will start to get more of that. So I would notice that. So the more, find the people who resonate with you and really get engaged with them. And it is an echo chamber. LinkedIn, in about, honestly, a little bit of interaction with a person, and all of a sudden you won't see anybody else. You have to actually go out and find the people you want to follow. And so,
yeah, true. Like I said, that's why every time I get on there, I see Brian's face.
Me too.
You see who I'm engaging with.
No, that's wonderful. And likewise, I mean, that's been the great thing about the Megamind too, is that we support each other's content. We support each other's ideas, businesses. Bruce is in the background, Blue Sky Productions. We got Wes Wyatt out there that does Randy's show. I know you've worked with Tim on your website, and we've ordered T-shirts from Kara, and it's been. Eric says no politics, no, personal and family, 1,000,000%. Yeah, absolutely, Eric. I agree. No need for politics, but also if somebody wants to do politics, let them do politics.
And then they will create their own following and group, and you can choose not to. That's, as easy as that. Absolutely. So Christy says, it's not that I have disagreement on what they say. It just clogs up the feed, but also people I want to connect with at another level. So it's difficult at times. Yeah, she's right. Cause that's just what you said, that it generates the new feed that you're going to see. And
yeah, I mean, obviously it's a public platform and you don't know what you're going to get. But I think you can make some some strategic choices from time to time. If somebody is always doing politics, maybe you think you can silence people's feed. And I know you can do it on Facebook. I don't know about LinkedIn, but you can go in and on Facebook, you can pause people for 30 days.
I don't know if you can do that, but I think you can just unfollow. I think you can unfollow on LinkedIn and correct.
Can you unconnect? Can you unconnect?
Well, I think you can unfollow without unconnecting.
Okay.
Unconnecting. Is that a word?
Disconnect.
Disconnect.
Unconnect.
Unconnect. Whatever. You can still have that relationship. You can still be,
Right.
but
Okay.
Now, Christy, there is something out there called. There is something, naturally, if you engage and follow somebody or connect it with them, they'll start to show up in your feed. If you comment on their stuff, it'll show up in your feed. But I don't know if you know about the bell, but if you go up and look in the upper right corner on somebody's profile, there's a little bell. If you click that bell, anytime they post, you'll get a notification. Right. And so that's another way to kind of like build up more options that are going to be not somebody you don't want to see. So,
and you can unclick it if they post something that you're not interested in. So that's cool. It's simple too. Right up my alley.
Yeah, I mean, it does get circular. I mean, the people you comment on, they show your stuff and vice versa. And so you just got to keep an eye on it. And one of the favorite tips I actually got in that Brand 30 course was that they said not to be a consumer of content on any platform, that you should be very conscious of the content and seek out what you're looking for. So they actually recommend that you bookmark the people you want to follow. Don't go to the feed, click on their profile, look at their activity, and only look at the things you want to look at, and then get off of LinkedIn. And so I'm not quite that person, but I do have some people that in the mornings I go, I want to see this person's post. I want to see that person. And so
I'm sorry, Ryan.
No, I'm good. Go for it.
You are very talented, very, very gifted with your content creation. You're an excellent writer. That is something that I struggle with. Actually, I can do the writing. I have more difficulty, I think, conceptualizing my message. So let me ask you this. I have heard, we know that you need to post, you need to show up on LinkedIn and not just be someone who clicks like on everything. What are your thoughts about, I have a subscription to Feedly. Are you familiar with Feedly?
A little bit. I haven't been involved with that in a while.
Yeah. What do you think about that? Does that help you? Is that more detrimental? What do you think?
Are you looking at it as content to reshare?
Yes. Content. Yeah. Targeting. Like I have Sales Navigator. I don't know if you guys do that. And, if I want to engage or target folks in the distribution industry, which is pretty much my bread and butter. I'm looking for operations people in distribution. I go in Feedly and I find an article that I think may be of some interest to those folks, something that they may find useful, not just fluff, but something that they may be able to actually, benefit from. And I send that. I can put it in the feed on LinkedIn, or maybe I send that to them. I send them the link in a DM. What do you think about that?
No, I think that's an important part of the process. I'll be honest, that's actually one of my weaker points in the process, is actually pushing out to other people's content. It's partly because I'm just basically following a strategy that I want to follow, and I'm testing some things out. That's part of it. But yes, I think the idea is that you're building value any which way you can. So that partly would be from your content and partly from other people's content. They often say, but here's the caveat on that is are you a creator or are you a curator? Okay. And so if you want to be a creator, you're going to have to create a certain amount of your own content. And so you're curating, and that's part of the process. But if you want to build a name for Chelle or Michelle, you're going to have to create a certain amount of content of your own, because otherwise you're pushing everybody to someplace else. So
absolutely.
So there's nothing wrong with it. It's part of the equation, and you can definitely slide in.
I can't read it. I see Chelle, but I can't read the rest of it.
You can slide into my DMs.
Oh my goodness.
Comic relief.
Well, but that is where I struggle with that, and with consistency. You know, I think, what am I going to say? I don't know. So I probably do need to play up the personal just a little bit more. I've always been a little fearful to do that, and I don't know why. But
well, I know why. You want to know? I'm putting you on the spot right now.
I say Keller.
Because you had it here tonight on the call. It's imposter syndrome. That's all it is.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I was putting on some lipstick before the show, and I thought, I absolutely struggle with imposter syndrome. And I thought, was that Brian who wrote about that recently, or did you write about that this week?
I do write about it a lot now.
Yeah, and I thought, I don't want to get on the show, and I meant to ask you that pre-show, and I didn't. I forgot. I thought, I don't want to, say, so you wrote about imposter, and it wasn't you, but I thought it was. I do. I mean, like, even here with you guys, I'm like, what am I doing here with these people? This is telling me Brian Monahan. What am I doing here? I
am working on a model around how to overcome imposter syndrome, and it's
hallelujah.
Chop, because I need it.
It's from inspiration to authentic, and so here's what I know. Bam, you got an idea. Okay, bam, hi, bam. But you got an idea. The very next thing that happens, imposter syndrome. Yes. It shows up immediately.
The thing.
And it happens to everybody. Okay, it's not just you. That is the world. Okay, you know what? So imposter syndrome is the enemy of inspiration. But you know how the way that you diffuse imposter syndrome is to take action. So the moment that you have this idea, this is my model, you have to go to action immediately. So I'm going to wear the lipstick, and you need to be done with it. Okay, now that you've done it, you need to show up on the show with the lipstick that you put on, and an hour later, we're going to find out that you were feeling uncomfortable putting that lipstick on. However, I have not questioned it one bit, and I don't know if that's what you're feeling imposter syndrome about, but that's the same way with writing. It's like, who am I to share this? What are people going to think about this? What are they going to come up with? I feel that way every post I put out. I'm like, and you guys tell me you love every post, but
we do. Yeah, we do.
And not just because we love you, because if it sucked, we would tell you.
You say, Brian.
But you do that for 180 days, and before you know it, you start to build rhythm. In fact, I've developed this concept of the inspired action, and that's, and inspired action overcomes imposter syndrome, and everybody's talking about imposter syndrome. Mm-hmm. And I've figured out the solution to it. You have to go straight to action.
Okay.
And so,
and there's Eric. Action is greater than everything.
And that's everything. That's everything we've learned in a mega mind is action is the key.
Yep.
Yeah. Don't just talk about it, which I'm kind of changing the subject just a little bit.
That's fine. We can do that.
It's your show.
Lately, Brian, I don't know why I've been asking this of everybody. Well, I kind of know, but let's talk about, you know what I'm going to say, Kellen? Let's talk about the law of attraction.
Yep.
All right.
And what you got on that, Brian? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not, I haven't been thinking about it lately, but I have, a lot of people, and I struggle with it too. I think of the law of attraction as being a little bit woo-woo, and I'm like,
me too.
Me
too. I don't like, but Kellen knows I don't like that at all.
But since you brought up action, the law of attraction, what most people the reason why the law of attraction doesn't work for most people is they miss the word action in attraction.
Yep.
Most people think the law of attraction is this: I thought about it, therefore it'll show up.
The lottery.
Yeah,
No.
I'm going to
Why haven't I won?
Munch on chips and think about being rich.
I have a coach that I worked with many years ago, and he's become an expert on the law of attraction. And what he says, and I'm sure other people say, it's all about the feeling for the law of attraction. It's not about thinking. And that's where I think most people miss it. And feeling is an action. And so the way that you make the law of attraction work is that you actually have to take action. While you're in action, your body gets energized and you get in tune with that energy. You feel it, and that's when it works. Not when you sit back there and go, "I want to attract this into my life." And then the law of attraction is gaining momentum. I also have a very let's see what Bam says.
It says law of attraction: what comes to your heart and mind need to be written down, focused, and effort put into. Exactly. That'd be like me sitting here and saying, I want to sell a card, but not call anybody or send any samples or do anything.
We've said before, your ideas have to grow some legs and some feet, and they have to go somewhere. You can't just.
Now, I do believe there is a woo-woo level of it where you get into a zone where you can literally just manifest things and move them fast. I'm not there. I can't give you that.
Your mindset now. You've got, because so much more can be accomplished if you have got the confidence behind it. So that's what you're referring to, you think?
Yeah, I think you get on a different plane and you're able to connect with things. Also, that you're getting on the other side of imposter syndrome too.
Right.
So when you have your ideas and inspirations, you're actually trained yourself to skip the step of imposter syndrome and go straight to action. And that's kind of like what my mind is model is, that you got to. I'm not a big fan of action for the sake of action. Like, we all know what the rat race did to us. That's what the pandemic revealed to us, that we don't want to go back to the rat race. So,
no.
But it's inspired action. It's healthy action. It's mindful action. I also have, I think the law of attraction, Coach Phil talks about, it's like, I think the wording is reticular awareness or something, like the idea of, hey, not until I mentioned yellow punch bug did I see 20 yellow Volkswagens,
right.
The law of attraction, I do believe, has some very just basic physical mechanics of it. Like, I say the law of attraction is also letting people know that you want something. So if I told Chelle, I'm looking for an event planner who has a conference for 2,000 people, who has a general session and 40 breakouts, and that, all right, I'm looking for that, everybody. So if you have know somebody who's an event planner and association, that's what I'm looking for in business right now. That's the law of awareness. And I think that's part of the law of attraction, is when you actually let other people know what you want. Now they become agents of your goals. And that's why we do these podcasts. And we're letting people know what we're doing so that they can jump in and say, hey, Brian, or hey, Chelle, you should talk to so-and-so. And that works. I mean, I get, today I had breakfast with somebody, and by noon she's texting me, oh, based on our conversation this morning, you should talk to so-and-so, or, and it's that simple sometimes. So, I am not a law of attraction guru, but
you're a law of action guru.
It's just something, I don't know, I've been a little fascinated with. I have never read any Napoleon Hill. I know I talked about it in our Megamind chat a little bit recently. And so I'm going to actually start that this evening. See what I think. So I'll let you talk more on that.
I'll get you a link for my coach. His name is Drew Roselle, and he's got a very just down to earth version of the law of attraction. And I think I'll post his link here for everybody.
Yeah, that'd be great.
But he's got a couple books. I can't remember. It's something code, and I can't remember exactly what it is, but it's his story of how he's lived his life with the law of attraction. And I think you guys would love it. And Drew's super cool.
That would be cool.
In fact, his newsletter used to be The Very Cool Life. And so that's how cool Drew is.
Okay.
We'll have to invite him on. You guys need to invite Drew on your show.
Totally.
Well, absolutely.
Season 3.
Absolutely. Yes, season 3 coming in what, October?
October, yeah.
Yeah, we have 2 shows after this one, and then we're off for the summer.
Taking a break.
Start back for season 3. Who would have thunk it, really?
I know. I can't believe we're going to be on season 3.
I can't either.
We might actually get our t-shirts done by then, too.
Yeah, maybe. So what else would you like to tell us, Brian?
Yeah, I think the most important thing is, is what you guys are doing. You're taking a break for the summer. I think we've all had interrupted lives for the last 2 years. And I have made it my mission to enjoy the summer and to do summery things, go to concerts, spend time at the family, outdoors, go on vacation, spend time at the pool. My goal is to be outdoors, and that's my recommendation for everybody. Get out and enjoy your summer.
That sounds fantastic. I have to ask who you want to see in concert. Brian and I share pretty much spot on musical tastes, pretty much.
Yeah, actually, I'm still like, I just saw the Who in concert about 3 weeks ago in Cincinnati, and I'm still like, I can't think of anything else. It was so good. I just, for a group of guys that are almost 80 years old, they still bring it.
Yeah. I had quite a few friends who were up there. I guess it was last weekend for REO and Styx and
Oh, I know. Yeah, I didn't catch that till afterwards, and I was like, I missed.
Yeah, I didn't know about it either till I saw people posting from there, and I'm like, what?
It was Loverboy, Styx, and REO Speedway, and I'm just like, I posted on my friend's timeline that I heard it from a friend that everybody was working for the weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw Loverboy a couple of years ago. They opened for Journey. It was Loverboy, Journey, and Pat Benatar, and that was an amazing show.
I love Pat.
Yeah, I saw.
You've got to.
Pat Benatar with Rick Springfield was ridiculous. Rick Springfield is a great concert, by the way.
I met him. I met Rick Springfield.
And he takes his shirt off too during the concert.
My heart.
We all need the human touch,
Anyway, you are really good at this, Brian.
Well, he's your stand when you can't make it. He helps me out.
I mean, this is the guy whose newsletter is Rock the Monday, so
That's
right. I know the lyrics to a few of these songs.
Brian will post snapshots of I guess the console on your car that shows what you're listening to. I love that.
I always want to tell you, you need to wipe off and clean it. It's all full of dust and fingerprints.
I have a friend who cleans cars, and I purposely don't clean it because it makes him mad. He's like, clean your car. I go, I can't afford you.
Wow. Well, I enjoy that. Never stop doing that. And I'm ready for another playlist.
Yes. I think we're due.
Yeah, we're due for a new one.
We need another playlist. So.
But Hey Randy is still one of my favorites. So.
Well, okay. I'm sure we asked you this last time that you were on.
Is it that time?
It's like 5 minutes till 8. Yeah.
So wait, do we still get our little graphic, or
I don't want to end.
I'm not doing. Y'all know I'm not doing.
Is Bruce going to cut us off though? Bruce is going to be like, we're done.
Yeah,
I don't know. Bruce may have left.
There's things
he left.
Yeah, I'm just going to spend my evening with Napoleon Hill. So but yeah, let's go ahead and let's talk about. Do you moisturize, Brian? Do you do that?
There he is.
There's man.
Bruce.
Hey, Bruce, where are you?
You're muted. Is he at a wedding?
Cam 1.
I don't know.
Where is he?
Is that a golf course?
I don't know. You're muted.
It's called Ravinia. It's in north of Chicago.
Is it just
It's an outdoor music theater. And we have, for a number of years, one of the biggest headliners here is Tony Bennett until Tony Bennett stopped performing. In a few weeks, we got people like Leslie Odom and Steve Miller Band. And the Chicago Symphony is playing to the soundtrack of Lion King. So they show the movie Lion King, and a live orchestra plays a lot of music.
Cool. Very cool. All right.
Yeah, so that's why I couldn't be more active with the show, is because we're doing this event tonight.
Well, we appreciate you doing this.
Absolutely.
And Bruce.
So yeah, so I guess we're ending the show then.
Well, no, we got to. Do we get our graphic for the moisturizer?
Okay. Doing a special event, and I will do it up.
Because we need that.
There you go.
Oh, now it's official.
Now it's official.
What you got, Brian Monahan?
Tell us the deets.
Well, I'm not going to think of the name. There's like this new like chain of stores where they make the soaps or whatever. Do you know what that's called? It's
Buff
like,
City?
What is it called?
Buff City? Is that what you're talking about?
I think so. Yeah, something like that. But they bought me some, my wife and daughter for my birthday got me, some manly, courageous, something or other smelling soap. And yeah, I wear that when I want to, go out and sell something.
Like when you want to be bougie, like Bruce, according to Eric.
Yeah.
It does kind of set the tone. You're like, oh man, I'm wearing this manly soap today, and I'm gonna go out and get some stuff done.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Well, good.
And I'm sure everybody else is like, you smell like Old Spice or something. I think that's all it is. It's just Old Spice in a bar.
In a fancy bar.
Yeah.
Courageous.
That's a cool place, though.
It's like strong and brave, Eric. I think I can't. Courageous soap, strong, brave, manly.
What's next for Brian? I need to ask one question. What's next for Brian?
So, I am working on, what's next is a keynote speech. I'm working to, that's part of what I'm doing on LinkedIn is I'm basically working out the dynamics of a speech. And you've already heard the opening part, which is inspired action. And eventually I'll have a story to tie next to that. And then we'll have a call back later in there and we'll come back and talk about it. And you guys will be like, ooh, that was really good, Brian. And I'll say, are you ready to take inspired action? Go get it. Or, and then I'll go. So that's next. So
wait.
So that's my tip for you on LinkedIn. Okay. So the guy who did the course said this. He said, a book is a long form way of the past to provide content. You take years to write it and then you get feedback on it. And it takes months to get it back to find out it's the wrong content. When you can go to LinkedIn every day and find out and get feedback on your content daily. And it's kind of like a comedians doing their, the small clubs, So when I go to LinkedIn, and then he says, if people like it, you double down on it. And so when you guys engage with my content, that gives me cues to say, hey, that's good. People like that. And so I'm working on a keynote speech. And Cindy wants me to call it, the Butt Pucker Manifesto, which is one of my talks, but I'm just not quite ready to go lead with that one yet. But
I would go.
But Brian, that as soon as you have a venue, I bet there's 10 of us that will be there.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, absolutely.
A minimum of 10 of us. Of the Megaminds, not just people to watch. Of us.
We still have to have the Megamind conference anyway, so.
Yeah.
Well, I loved what you put up today.
Yes.
Just enough of it showed that, I was going to read it anyway, but even if you weren't Brian and we didn't have, the relationship that we have, it was a great little hook to get you in to read it. So very well done.
That is the key to getting people to read your content. And there's two reasons for it. When people click see more, then LinkedIn's like, oh, that's content people want to read. So not only do people read it because they've are interested in it, LinkedIn's like, oh, we believe you. It's good content because somebody clicked on it, and then they show it to more people, and it's kind of cyclical. And so that is one of the tricks I learned is you got to get people to click that see more button if you want your. Otherwise, people don't see it. I mean, I could write the best content in the world, but if you guys don't get it fed up by LinkedIn, you don't know it. And so, and that's where, I mentioned at the beginning of the call, I was uncomfortable with the idea of, using he says, they call them hooks and headlines, it feels, I don't want to hook and headline my friends into reading my content. They're just going to read it. Well, no, they're not going to see it because LinkedIn's not going to show it to them. So yeah, if I send you my email, you'll read my email, but not the other way around. So it's technique.
Strategy.
Well, make sure you get your affiliate link in.
In the chat.
Yeah, and I'm happy, that I'm very passionate about helping. If you want, anybody needs, shoot me a note here on Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever. I'm happy to share some ideas about, what's worked for me on LinkedIn, what hasn't, and what's going. So I love you ladies. You're the best. I've had a good time tonight. Thanks for letting me show up as Brian. I know some of the other times I've been here, we've had some fun shows, but I'm in rare form tonight, and I'm not drinking bourbon. So
you want to see rare form?
No BB.
Yeah.
If you guys want to see the real Brian,
I think I have a video of that somewhere.
Yeah, it's time. Don't play that.
I would never do that to you.
Bruce is like, looking, where's this video?
No, I have it. I have it personally.
Well, I mean, it may need to be played someday.
This is not the time or the place.
Well, if you are watching and you are not connected, following, whatever you want to be with Brian Monahan, you need to do that. He's got a gazillion newsletters. He's got fantastic content. You can learn from this man. And when he says he'd be willing to help you, y'all, Brian is really one of the good guys. He really, really is. Brian, I need you to stick your foot up my hind end as far as my imposter syndrome. Get me going the way I need to get going. Okay.
Well, maybe you can do it. Brian can.
That's right.
Hey, and Kellen, I know we need to catch up and work on your book here. I mean, do you want to, since we're on together right now, do you want to confirm our appointment?
Let's do that because my
since I'm not responding to you otherwise.
The written part has gone to the designer. It's being made into a book right now. So.
Oh, great! I can't. I have had the privilege of seeing early drafts of Kellen's book, and it is going to be phenomenal.
It's a great one. It's a great one. It made me happy.
Did it make you smile? Because that's what
it made me. It made me smile. Yes.
Then I did my job.
Yes.
Absolutely. Brian Vivian Monahan, Eric Bam said. I don't know what that means.
He always says that.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
all
shoot.
Right.
Well, thank you.
I'm sure Bruce wants to watch his movies tonight.
Yeah. So we'll thank our sponsors, Blue Sky Video Productions, Bruce Himmelblau, Goodwin Graphics, cottonfeelsgood.com. He makes great t-shirts. He makes mugs, makes everything. He's awesome.
And he's one of the good guys too.
And he's an amazing guy. He's a good guy.
He is wonderful.
And then, Cards That Wow, that's me. Okay, Michelle, now it's your turn to tell everybody to subscribe because we're still at 74.
Subscribe. Y'all subscribe to our YouTube channel.
We gotta bring 100.
Do it. Yeah, do it. Most people watch us on Facebook. So, but we'd really like to up those YouTube numbers. So please share this out because you've had a good time. So
and you learned a lot too.
That's right. So share it out, and we would appreciate that so much. Y'all have a great week, and I have had just the best time with y'all tonight.
I did
and
too.
Next
Thank
week,
you.
We have TikTok Phenom. Wait, is that next week? I don't know who's next week, so never mind. It'll just be a surprise.
I think she's the week after next. I don't.
She's the week after next. Caitlin and Tiptoe. Yeah. But anyway, have a great night, you guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you, Brian. All righty. Bye-bye.
Bruce.
Hi, everybody. Bruce is not here.